Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, July 3rd, and today we will cover the trades for YieldMax funds, TSLY, Coney, Nvidia, Misty, Simcy, and Platey. All right, so I got the pre-market open on MicroStrategy. They're up 1.1%. Not a bad start to the day. Again, the stock market, I believe, is closing at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. So it's going to be a quick day, nice and easy day, at least for people who work in the stock market, not for us regular folk who got to work a full day. All right. But it is what it is. For those of you that are live, if you can confirm the audio is working as it should, hopefully. So I'm not talking to myself, then I would appreciate that. So I did a post on X yesterday. Should I make another video on how to retire on Misty? I think the feedback is yes. So I started to prep one part of that video, which is filling in the various distribution payments and compared to the various prices as of the declaration date. And it's pretty amazing, how far this fund has come. But people considered yesterday a low yield. And to be fair, it is the lowest yield that they have paid. But this is the lowest implied volatility I remember seeing for MSTR. So, but still, if 72% is going to be your lowest yield, hey, sign me up all day, right? And obviously, you could see the price fluctuation, which is kind of a reminder. Just as fast as we went to 42, we just came back, right? We came back to 20. So, so this fund it's crazy, So some people may have an average of $40 on this ETF. And I'm sure they are not as happy as, say, some with an average of 20. So again, but anyway, I think once I redo this video, it'll be like a version 2 of 2025. I think people will like it. But I'll no promises on dates. I'll get to it when I get to it. But before I even continue, this week of trades has been a massive pain in the ass. So that being said, if you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. It does go a long way, right? Yeah, that's it. So let's get to it. So who had trades? Well, basically everyone and their mother. All right. So if we go here, I'm going to Misty. Misty had 1 million trades. Okay. What else is new? Buy to close, buy to close. And then here, they created a new synthetic. I didn't even realize till this morning because I screwed up my spreadsheet last night. But there's another 385. This one with a 919 expiration, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know, man. There's a lot here. I can't cover it here. And again, this pink, don't even get me started with this pink. I'm very confused on that. And I'm very happy to get out of this freaking week, to be honest, because I don't even know. I hope I did everything right. Let's just say that. All right. So right now there's 4 synthetic tabs here. So let's see what this one is. This is the 370. As you know, they closed the other 370. So this is the only one that remains. The strike, obviously 370. The MSTR price shows 402. This expiration, though, is 7/18, 16 days till expiration. 59,925. Is that the right one? 50. Yes, 59,925. I'm kind of checking as we go here because God knows what happened here. And then we have a synthetic 385. This one, I believe, has the earlier expiration. If we go down here, 4,800 contracts, expires 8/15. 4,800 contracts, expires 8/15. Mic check 1 2 1 2. And then we have the synthetic 385 that has 15,000 contracts and expires 9/19. So if we go over here, we got 15,500 contracts, expires 9/19. And then last but not least, they have the synthetic 390, where they have 50,090 contracts, expires 9/19. 50,790. Is that what I said? Crap. 50,000. Yeah, 50,790 contracts, expires 9/19. All right. So the synthetics are all in place. They're all in action. They're all just chilling. We have a total now of 131,015 synthetics. So they are ready to make some money. But again, the point of the synthetic is just to mimic the movement of the underlying. And that's it. You know, there is no game. Oh, close it early for this or open it early for this. No, no, no. Because when they close a position, they're going to open a new position right away. So they're always going to capture, you know, the upside, the downside, the this, the that, the other thing. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. So let's get to the weeklies tab and go from there. Thank you, everyone, by the way, for being here live. I know it's early. It wasn't planned. This was not a planned live stream. I wanted to pre-record, but I could not get the work done in time. So I had to just, you know, I had to utilize all the time up until basically 6 a.m. to get this updated. But yesterday, so price change for yesterday, MSTR, I mean, what a week. This is nuts. Like it went up 7.76%, back over 400. Here we go again. And then MSTY went up 5.79%. So up, down, all around. And then the IV went from 50.62 to 52.39. And today, guess what? Yes, continuing the uptrend, showing 53.58. So that's a good thing. You know, high implied volatility. We ain't scared. We want it, right? We say, don't sing it, bring it. So hopefully it keeps going up. All right. Now this mishmash disaster, again, I am not 100% accurate that I got all this right, but we'll find out today when they close out the rest of the trades because we'll see what I have left over. But it has just been, it's just been a busy week. Let's just say that. All right. So what they closed yesterday? They closed a 402.50. Okay, keep that number in mind. 402.50, and they actually closed at 402.28. So again, it's all about the timing. Obviously, it looks like they had good timing when they closed this one. They only paid 37 cents, and in the end, that was a win. 257,000 profit, 882,000 profit. This one, this 397.50, they closed that. Again, I don't know. I think MSTR maybe was not as high early on in the day. So that's when they did some of these closures. And that's a $32,000 profit as well. Again, sometimes you're lucky on your timing. Sometimes you're not. Wow. 402.50 is 48 cents. Hold on a second. Let me see this. 402.50, 48 cents. 402.50. Where's the 48 cents? Where's 402.50? 48 cents for that. Is that a formula? No, 36 cents. 36 cents and 46 cents. 402.50. Oh, there's 36. Obviously, yeah. So you see the crate, 37 cents. 33.50. All right, whatever. But yeah, I mean, again, I don't remember the chart for MSTR yesterday. You know, is this showing 404? Was this yesterday's? 7? No, that's today. How do you pull up? Yeah, this should be yesterday's. It shows 7.3 though. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Can you do like a 5-day? All right, so yesterday was what, Wednesday? Wednesday at, no, yesterday was the 2nd. All right, so they were hovering. At 9 fit, they were at 383, 384, 381. Okay, and then later in the day they did go up. All right, that makes sense. Sorry, I wasn't following it yesterday, and I'm wondering like how did they pay basically nothing to close the 402.50 when they closed at 402, right? So this is good, great timing. So good job, YieldMax. They made about 1.2 mil profit, 382,000 profit right there. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's keep going down the line here. We got 405s. Again, great timing with the closure. basically paid nothing. Overall profit for these three, 4.2 million. So winner, winner. You know it. Chicken freaking dinner. All right. So 402.50s. You damn right. We won that. Look at that. Look at that. 2.7 mil in profit. And then here we won the 402.50. And this, 397.50. See, here's where they probably closed it later in the day and they said, oopsie. All right, they had to eat that one. So that ended up being a loss about 3.4 mil on those suckers. Now, if we keep going down the line, what do we got here? We got a 405 that paid 35 cents, 995,000 in profit. And then down here, we got a 405, bunch of 395s. But in the end, they were all winners. When we say winners, what do we mean? Again, for the newer viewers, when they sell a call and they open a position, they'll get a credit, which is shown in this column here, call credit. And when they close out the position, which they have to close out all of the positions, they pay a debit. And if the debit that they pay is less than the credit, then obviously we would call that a profit for that individual trade. So for these trades here, they made a profit about 4.1 million. So let's keep scrolling, keep scrolling. All right, so we got here. All right, see this one that cost them a little more, cost them 1.2 mil to close, and they only got 1.1 to open it. So that, again, that's $106,000 loss, but you can see the ones below it. They made some bank. So let's offset the three. That's a $2.5 million profit. So cha-ching. Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. And then we get to 7-2, which was yesterday. What the hell was going on? This, that. Like, oh my God. All right. They're open trades for next week. They're still open trades for this week. Like, what is this? 400 in the money. Again, I don't know what time they opened it. They didn't get much, but they're opening like a 1 DTE, then another 1 DTE. I mean, okay, whatever. At this point, I mean, by the time I got to there, I'm like, I don't even care. But it is what it is. We'll cover that in the holding, so don't worry. I'm not just rushing through it. Outstanding shares had another big increase. This time 3 million, which is ridiculous. Could you imagine 3 million shares of Misty? Gimme, man, gimme. Then I'd be retired. People always ask, what's it going to take for you to retire? 3 million shares of Misty. There you go, done. Anyway, so let's get to the summary. If we go to the top, again, this blue bar, this is the summary. Misty price currently at 22.10. MSTR price 402.28. Again, this is as of the close yesterday. 30-day IV on the up and up, 53%. Outstanding shares 249 mil. Total net income 7.5 mil. That's right. It shows a negative, which means it's a credit, so that's a good thing. Distribution 3 cents per share. Daily income a whopping penny per day. Woohoo! Daily yield 0.05%. And if you annualize that sucker, 16%. Sorry, I'm kind of keeping the voice low because the child, the baby, the 3-year-old is sleeping right above me, So it is what it is. Once he wakes up, then everyone wakes up. That's kind of how it goes here. That's why I try to get up early to get things done. And yeah. All right, so let's look at the MSTR funds, the competitors, the competition. All right, who's the best? Who's the best fund? Who cares, right? Anyway, MSTR, how'd they do? Well, we said they went up 7.76%. Misty captured 5.79%. Winter, as expected, went down. Again, that's an inverse fund for MSTR. And IMST actually went up a little more than Misty. They went up 5.93%. But MS2 said, I'll be seeing you. And they went up 8.72%, which, again, pretty damn impressive. I was on a Spaces yesterday, and, luckily I kind of got reminded that MS2 is a 1.25% leverage fund. Not all the time. It can go up to 1.25% leverage, I believe. I believe that's what they said. The prospectus says, but not the prospectus, the website. And that being said, this 8.72% jump does make sense. So MS2 for the win. All right. So if we go, by the way, they're still not updating on Google Sheets. So I'm manually typing this in. I know you guys don't care, but I need to complain to someone. And if I go up here, okay, they launched at 25 and they're at 25.69. So, and they paid some distros. They paid 18 cents. They paid 29 cents. So again, they're paying and they're capital flat. So Hey, great. Great. Good job so far, MS2. All right, reaction. Clearly, I didn't put a reaction because, again, I'm slacking. Announcement day was yesterday, so no reaction today because Stone Cold said so. All right, next declaration is in 27 days on July 30th, end of July. All right, we are in July. Are you excited? Are you excited? So obviously the declaration date would fall on the 30th, X date 31st, and then pay date August 1st. So we almost got that second payment in July. I believe we're getting 2 payments for Group D in August. I mean, we would have to, because think about it. If the first payment falls on August 1st, you're getting 2 payments in August. So that's pretty damn sweet. All right, so let's keep moving along here. So this payment information here, again, we restarted payment cycle 10. This started on Monday. I'm showing a synthetic income. Again, I'm capturing all these damn tabs, 370, 380, 385. There's two. Did I get the other? No, I don't have the other 385. See, I'm a freaking disaster. All right, so 390 plus there's another 385 right here. All right. Okay, so again, yeah, so we got the old 370s, which is fine. And then we got the 380, that's gone to 385, 2 385s and a 390. All right, and we got the extrinsic income, which is fine. It's about 40 mil. Weekly income, 7.5 mil, but total net income, which is weeklies plus synthetic, that comes to be about 74 mil, which comes to be about a total of 30 cents per share. Extrinsic income alone, 16 cents. And we'll get to the Rotometer in a second, but I just want to show you yesterday's distribution was $1.23. So again, overall for that period, I'm not showing that they did generate a positive, net income. The signage is positive, but if it was a negative amount, that's a credit. So they did not make money. So everything goes into the debit carry forward bucket. All right, because they paid out 308 mil. That's what I'm showing. All right, based on the number of outstanding shares, which is locked in now. Whatever we showed today, that's the final for that cycle, and that's what they had to pay out. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. Moving along, here's the Rotometer. Again, the weeklies making about 3 cents so far. Total net income wise, 30 cents so far. Again, it's so early. But look at the IV 54%, that would be a 91-cent distribution. But when you talk about gains, bro, gains, son, it's all about the gains. $1.93. That's how much it went up in price. I mean, is that sweet or what? That's an 81% yield if they pay it out like that. All right, moving along to the Misty holdings. Again, we're trying to keep some pace here. We could see, all right, the font in black, these expire today. How do you know? You go under the QSIP column, right? And you can see the expiration date. It starts year, month, day. So July 3rd, 2025, obviously today. And then these July 11th for next week. So let's focus on today. We have a 397.50 and a 400. They are both in the money. And looking at the pre-market at this very moment, it doesn't look like it's going to go down. But again, it's only up. It's not even up 1%. So a lot can change. So we can't really judge it by that too much. But right now, obviously, it looks like these are going to be losing trades, which whatever, bruh. They closed out most of the crap. Everything else, I mean, again, this is for next week. I'm not going to harp on that, but we'll talk about it when we get to it. All right, synthetics. Yeah, we already verified. We got the synthetics properly, so we don't have to talk about them because they're freaking exhausting. Now, when we talk about the value of the fund, the assets under management, keep in mind this number is minus the massive distribution that is just paid. Again, today is ex-dividend date, so the money is out. So you can see the NAV dropping. We're dropping to 20.79. Close price yesterday shows to be 22.10. So obviously the difference is 131. They declared 123. So again, there's always a little difference there. So we're still a $5 billion fund even after ex-dividend date, which is, I thought they'd be under 5, but I didn't. Then again, I didn't think they'd go up like they did yesterday. But hey, whatever. Synthetics, how much do they equal per share? $1.25. Again, this is on paper, but still, they're, Misty's. I'm not going to say Misty's back, but Misty's back. All right. Synthetic contracts. Again, we talked about that. They total 131. Total contracts they are selling calls on 87%, 115,000. So I always like when they leave a little cushion, leave a little something. So it means like 12% or so are uncappity doodah. So, which means they will capture the full based on the strike price. My screen just black out. What the hell was that? All right. Anyway, so that's for Misty. Now we could talk about IMST. So what are they doing? Well, it looks like they closed out all their trades. And to be honest, I don't even know if they post their intraday trades. I don't believe they do. So I can't tell you if they won their trades or not. Based on how MSTR moved yesterday, they may have lost. But who knows? Maybe someone else could verify. But these are the trades for next week, which again, we'll talk about for next week. So they don't have anything open expiring today, which means they took the weekend off. Nice extended weekend. So total synthetic contracts that they have, 2,227. 75% of that has covered calls. So 25% is uncappity doodah. This fund is a $90 million fund, and the NAV is about 51. Close price around 51.78. So whatever, all good. MS2 is the last one. How they doing? Well, what do they got? They got a couple 7.3s right here. They're selling calls. Yeah. Some are in the money. There's one right here, 39 contracts. That's out of the money, way out of the money. Well, not way, but 2.49% out of the money. And these two are in the money. So these probably going to be cappity doodah. But again, the good thing about MS2 is they only trade options on 50% of their fund, as you can see. Although it shows 49, but we'll cut them a break, right? We'll give them a percent. And yeah, that's it. MS2, for whatever reason, it's not updating, but I wasn't going to cover the holdings on that today anyway. But like I said, I'll try to talk about that tomorrow. Tomorrow's video may be live as well, but we'll see. All right, so that's the coverage on Misty. We can now move on to the others. It's not all about Misty, right? There are other funds. All right, so if we look at TSLY, did TSLY have trades? Yeah. All right. Buy to close 8 cents, buy to close 9 cents, buy to close 11 cents, buy to close 7 cents. I was thinking about that movie. Well, you have to guess the movie. He goes, sorry. It says, the park is closed. Remember? Anyway. So needless to say, TSLY, they won their trades. They paid chump change and they're rolling them into next week, selling calls at 330. They're selling calls at 322.50. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so they're doing good. They're doing all right. It's all good. It's all right. So if we look here, total profit for the day is about 3.1 mil. Again, this is something that my best IT friend, well, him and we'll say Bad Financial Decisions, Amy, they're both my best IT friends. He's showing a 3.1, which he added. That is a winner chicken freaking dinner. Okay. Now, if we go to the TSLY tab, Tesla, how did it do yesterday? Well, it had a green day because it's been red. It's been super red, but now it's its turn to be green. So it's up 4.73%. And TSLY captured 4.32, 91% capture. So in your face, sucker. All right. So how are their calls doing? Well, remember the buy to closes that they won? They won their trades for the week. Everything here is for next week. Does that mean that they will have no trades today? Hey, you never know, right? You don't know. If Tesla were to, again, it depends what Tesla does. If Tesla goes up 10%, could they close some of these, roll them up? Sure. If Tesla goes down 10%, could they close these and roll these down? Sure. If Tesla stays flat or moves up and down 2, 3, 4%. Could they leave these alone? Sure. We don't know. But it doesn't really matter. We don't have to speculate. Let's just let it be. Let it be. All right, let's look at the synthetics. How you doing? Tesla's at 315. 315 is under this, that, and that. And I would sing Gold Digger, but Tesla did have a big update. Plus, I don't want to wake up the child, so I will pass on that one for today. Sorry. All right. The value of the TSLY fund is about $1 billion. The NAV is a 10, trade price same. All right, good job. Synthetics negative, as we saw, negative 0.52 cents per share. 30-day IV of Tesla moving on up, moving kind of, I think, right? It's at 60.73%. IV estimate based on that, 38 cents. Income estimate, only 2 cents, but hey, whatever. They declare next week, 6 days away. So they will be on the Sunday guesstimate video. Is that cool? That's cool, right? Anyway, up next, your boy Nvidia. Sorry, I know those of you that are live. What I do is I get to the comments more towards the end of the YieldMax coverage. That way, for the people who watch after, they don't have to hear our yip yap. If they want to stay and listen to that, they can hang around later. All right. So, oh my God, Nvidia had a lot of trades. Good Lord. Buy to close, 15 cents. Buy to close, 16 cents. Buy to close, oh, 281. Ooh, so all right, that one was a loser, but it was a low strike. Buy to close, 19 cents. That's a winner. All right, let's keep going. Buy to close, 15 cents. That's a winner. All right, so Nvidia won most of the trades. So good job, Nvidia. You're whooping ass. All right, obviously I had a good week. And then, you know, when you see the SS short sell, obviously they're selling calls with those same contracts. They're selling them into next week. You know, various strike prices looks 160, 162.50, 160. Well, I guess 160 is the going rate here. So let's go take a look at the file and see what we got. It's what I got. All right. Nvidia yesterday, they went up 2.51%. How you doing? Nvidia went up 1.91%, 75% capture. Not quite the 80, but hey, we'll take it. We'll cut them a break, brah. All right. All right. So what do we got left for the week? Well, again, QSIP is the column that has the date in the similar order that you see every day, right? This is like the ticker and the kind of the contract information. But anything in black font basically expires today. Are we going to win our trades today? Are we? Let's see. We have a 155. That's in the money. Well, that sucks. And then we have a 157.50. That's barely out of the money. So that kind of sucks too. But don't worry. We can check the pre-market, and maybe Nvidia is going to be, down. I doubt it, but we'll see. Where the hell did it go? There it is. Oh my God, it's down. I stand corrected. It is down in the pre-market, 0.26%. It is at 156.82, which is still above that first strike, but it's under the second strike. But again, I was going to say all day, but we don't have all day. We have till like 1 p.m., right? Can someone confirm that in the chat? Do we close at 1 p.m.? I believe it's 1 p.m., not 12 p.m. So we'll see how this day goes. All right. So synthetic on paper, how's it doing? Well, they have a 130 and they have a 146. It's doing awesome because Nvidia is at 157, right? But this expires July 18th. So they're going to cash this out very, 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 very soon. Thank you, Trevor. Yes. So the market closes at 1 p.m. The value of the Nvidia fund, 1.7 bill. The NAV is 1678, trade price 1677. Synthetic on the paper. Look at this. Look at this. Yeah, boy. 214 per share in your face. So they're going to cash that out, hopefully before they declare the next one. And you guys can all make bank, bro. And you can celebrate and you can just run around screaming and say, I am an Nvidia nerd and I made bank, bro. I made bank. All right, 30-day IV of Nvidia still kind of low, 35%. IV estimate based on that, 46 cents. Income estimate, $1. So they're already, Nvidia's doing really good right now. So enjoy it. I know they're under 20, but hey, sometimes the funds, they go under 20, they stay under 20, but hey, they've been staying in this range, for quite some time, and they're doing good. They're doing good. Remember, they used to be the GOAT. I don't know if you guys remember that, but they were. All right, so now let's go to Coney. If you're not familiar with Coney, if as soon as you buy Coney, you automatically get a cone head. So your head just turns into a cone, and you start talking like that. All right, so beware. Now, if we go to the trades, if I can find them. Again, this is in alphabetical order. So we must know our alphabet in order to read this. So Coney yesterday by the close, 22 cents, by the close, 13 cents. So is that good? Yeah, because obviously they got a massive credit. How do we know how much credit they got when they opened this position that they closed at 22 cents? Well, you can always look at like what's the new position paying. The new position paid about $6.18 per share for that one, and the other new position was about $4.21. So they're getting decent money on the new position. So last week's position when they opened it was probably, somewhat around that range. So yes, they won their trades. So good job. They made about 4.7 million in recognized income yesterday in the process. So how did Coin do yesterday? Coin, that's right, Coin, they went up 5.39%. Coney went up 4.26%. Did they capture the 80%? Yeah, so close. They only captured 79%, which, hey, good enough, man. All right, so what do we got going for today? Well, nothing. Everything expires next week. So Coney Fund Manager, go to the beach. Take the day off. It's actually going to be nice weather today. Don't worry, I'll work, and you go to the beach with your freaking cone head. All right. So what do we got for next week? Well, I mean, who really cares at this time? But everything's close. It's 0 to 4% out of the money. And then we got synthetics that expire 8.15, 3.30, which is good, but the 3.60 not so much because coin is at 3.54. Do we care about the pre-market? Sure, why not, right? So let's type in coin, 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 and then you hit enter. And then you find it, and then you say, okay, it is up 0.86%. All right, so coin is up 0.86% in the pre-market. Is that good? Sure, whatever, right? Again, our trades expire next week, so we got a lot of time. Time is on my side. Yes, it is. All right, so let's go down here. The value of the Coney fund is 1.3 bill. The NAV is 916. Trade price is about the same. All good. Synthetic owned paper, a whopping 14 cents per share. Hey, at least it's positive. 30-day IV, 65%. IV estimate based on that, 46 cents. Income estimate, 80 cents. Nice. 113% yield. Yeah. But they don't declare for another 20 days on July 23rd. So stay tuned for that. All right. What's going on, Simcy suckers? Simcy degenerates. You don't need an auditor. You don't need an auditor, do you? All right, so let's go to the trades. All right, S. Find the S. Find the S. Did they have a trade? I'm sure they did, like everyone else. Because I mean, think about it. Yesterday was a full trading day. Today is not. So I'm guessing, the YieldMax fund managers, which includes, Mr. Scott, who may be listening now. I'm sure he didn't want to save all of those trades until a half day, because then you'd be rushing around like crazy, like, oh my God, I got to fill the order. What do we do? So obviously, yesterday being busy, we have to expect it. And it is what it is. Hopefully today will be nice, smooth sailing. All right. Now, what did Simcy do yesterday? Well, they did a buy to close and they did another buy to close. They paid 9 cents and 11 cents. So what do you say about that? You say, okay, good job. You won. All right. They won. Good job. Good work. And then they're open new positions of 50, strike, 2% out of the money, 51, 4% of the money. So it looks okay, I guess. But SMCI yesterday, they did go up 3.16%. SMCY, they went up 2.17%. So unfortunately, only a 68% capture, which is fine, I guess. Not really, but well, whatever. Now, as far as trades for this week, they have these two lines here, right? The sell call, the buy call. These both expire today. and they have a 50, which is 2.59% out of the money. Is it safe? Is it safe? Are we going to stay under $50? Is SMCY going to stay under $50? That is the question the Simcy suckers are asking themselves today. They are up in the pre-market. They are at $49.06. $49.06. As time goes on, if it stays in that range, then yeah, we're good. We're probably going to pay pennies on the dollar to close it. You can see as of yesterday, in fact, or as of the close yesterday, it cost 21 cents per share to close out this position. So if they open today and they're still under the 50, and as time goes on, this 21 cents will go down and down. Go check out the options chain. Go to, see how much it is to sell a call, right? I'm sorry, to buy a call, $50 strike, expiration date today. Go check it out. All right. Go check out the prices, follow it yourself, and then you kind of get the gist. All right. If you go to the, obviously they probably get better prices. They use various companies too. So our prices maybe not as great as theirs as well. So, but again, you get the gist. Now, if we look at the synthetic, we have a 45. SMCI is at 48, but that expires 8/15. Are they going to cash that out? No, it's not much, but it is worth, wow, that's $1.63 per share. Not bad, man, not bad. Now, if we look here, what's the value of the Simcy fund? 224 mil. The NAV is 1953. Trade price, oh my God, what happened? All right, 162 gap. Why? Because SMCY, ex-dividend date, duh, and they're paying a massive distribution. I forget what it was, but it's around this range. And the Simcy suckers, they're not getting paid though on tomorrow. They're getting paid Monday, so they got to wait to spend their degenerate money over the weekend, unless they take out, they use the credit card in advance. But 30-day IV, 69%. IV estimate based on that, $1.13. Income estimate, I will update for tomorrow's video. They declare again in 27 days on July 30th. All right, last but not least, from the YieldMax crew, we have P to the L to the T to the Y. Yes, I know this is all a mouthful, but hey, you guys want me to cover these funds. That's your problem. All right, so if we scroll up, we find Platey. Did they have trades? Yes, they had trades. Buy call, sell put, sell call. Okay, so no closures, just new positions. All right. So they added to the 140 synthetic and they opened trades for next week. Okay, easy enough. How did Palantir do yesterday? They went up 1.09%. Platey went up more. Good job, Platey. Whooping ass. They went up 1.2%. So I will gladly take that. Cha-ching, right? Now, if we look at the trades, everything expires next week. That's why they didn't have to close anything, because everything's already closed. Now, these are the positions for next week. They're still out of the money. They're 3 to almost 9% out of the money. Positioned okay. So we'll see how it goes. But actually, let's see what pre-market looks like. Again, is this going to be a big trading day, or is half the world taken off, not even going to be active? I don't know. All right, Palantir, they are up in the pre-market, up 0.61%. So again, not much movement there. So that's okay. Their synthetic is at 140, Palantir is at 132, and that expires on July 18th. So they could take a hit on that. We shall see. The value of the Platey fund is 634 mil. The NAV 62.33. The closing trading price 62.43. Synthetic is worth negative. So let's move on to the 30-day IV, which is 54%. IV estimate based on that 260. And don't forget, we have a massive income estimate of an 1174. So, yeah. But they declare in 13 days, July 16th. All right. So that is the coverage of the YieldMax funds. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask the people that are live, all 206 of you, do you have any questions before I move on to the my options trading update? All right. I'll scroll through the recent comments. Good morning, everyone, by the way. Thank you for joining. I think you guys are just talking amongst yourself. Doesn't look like anyone has any questions, which is okay. But I'll keep an eye out. All right, so I'm going to pull up my options trades. So as you know, Misty declared $1.23. Okay, and is that a question for me? Is it bad to drunk trade? I would probably say yes, and bank bra for sure. All right, here it is. Thoughts on Misty changing to allow MSTR and BTC holdings. What are you talking about? You mean like holding the underlying? Again, I think their preference is the synthetic position. So my thoughts are nothing. I mean, again, the idea is to mimic the movement. I'm not sure what you mean by BTC holdings. Did they actually add that to prospectus? Because Misty, the point of the fund is to trade MSTR. So I don't believe they're going to be holding a synthetic or a holding that's not MSTR related. So I'm not sure. Yeah. I feel like next time I'll just put like penny for everything, and I'm like make everyone even more pissed off. Doc says MSTR and crypto are rising today. All right, Doc, let's hope, right? 6K shares. Who has 6K shares? Not me. Nicole would quit her job if she had 6K shares. I mean, yeah, right? Because what's that? 6,000. Well, it might not be enough. But anyway, for my options trading account, the retire now account, as I referenced it, I have 500 shares of Misty. So those 500 shares of Misty are going to pay me $619. All right. This account, I have to pay a mortgage, just so you know, of $1,300. It came out of the account this week on 1st, as it usually does. So I have to see now, what is my new goal? So if I go to the retire now account, in the month of July, my income goal is $2,173.37. So if I go back over here, I take that number, subtract out what I got on the Misty dividend, and then I get, this number. So this is my goal for the month of July in options. I have to generate 1,554 in options premium. So what I do is I just divide that by 4, and then I kind of have a goal of 389 per week that I need to make in options premium to hit my goals. Simple as that, right? So right now I have Misty tab up. Again, I own 500 shares of Misty. I received all them via selling puts. My average is pretty bad, 26.40. But I always said I will sell calls if I ever have a good opportunity. By the like this one, my latest one was $23, which I'll sell a call at 23 and not feel bad about it. But right now, Misty's at what? Well, that's the closing price. Keep in mind they're dropping today by $1.23 or so. So it's going to be at $20 or so, right? 22, 21, $20. So I'm not selling calls anytime soon unless Misty really gets back to this range. So I might as well just keep my shares and let them keep paying me. As far as TSLL, just a reminder, they did pay a dividend. Since I own 700 shares, they paid 8 cents. So I did get $62.73 this week in dividend payment. Now, as far as yesterday's trades, TSLL was up as Tesla was. So I sold 2 calls. I sold a $13 strike and a $14 strike, 18 and 22% out of the money. They expire for next week. Both have a delta of under 0.2, which again, that's kind of the safe, quote unquote, safe route there. And they paid me $17 and $14, which ended up being a 62% annualized yield on one and a 49% yield on another. I also decided to close a put that I opened the day before. If you recall, I sold a put at $9. This put paid me 24 cents per share. It only cost 9 cents yesterday. So I did pay the 9 cents, and I ended up getting a net of $15 for one trading day. Because again, the expiration date was next week. So instead of letting it be, I collected 62% of the profits for the one day. I closed it out. And if you think about that, that yielded me 420%, which is, again, you have to be kind of active to generate those kind of numbers, but it was just an opportunity, right? Because TSLL was down on the first. I sold a put at 9, and yesterday it was up a decent amount. So I was able to pay to close that put and pay a fraction of what I got. So why not, right? Because we don't know what's going to happen the next day. So sometimes you just got to make those moves. Now, as far as what expires today, again, today being the 3rd, I have 2 puts expiring today, a 10 and an 11. We will go to the pre-market and see where we stand. All right, so they are at $11.73. So if I go back here, $11.73 is above the 11, obviously, and the 10. So these look like they're going to expire worthless, which that's fine. And then I have another put. This is the one I opened out, much further dated. It actually kind of was bad timing, but it doesn't matter. It's a $12 put. It expires July 25th. It's in the money. We'll see how it goes. We'll go from there. But as far as today, I just got these 2. Will they get a sign? Probably not. TSLL looks green and no sign of slowing down, but we'll see. We'll see. How much money have I made on TSLL during this week, this short ass week? So far, $68. Woohoo! All right, then we got TNA. And let me go to yesterday. So yesterday, yeah, I didn't do anything on TNA yesterday, actually. So let's talk about what expires today. I have a put expiring today, $29 strike. So I have to check what is TNA price at in the pre-market. 36. Wow. Okay. So they're up 1.64%. So obviously 36 is way above the 29. So this thing, you know, I could close it for a penny today or yesterday, probably even, or I just let it expire worthless, and I'm going to let it expire worthless. And what happens when you sell a put and the contract expires worthless, the amount you fronted in this example, $2,900, that goes back into the cash bucket of the account. Now, I have a call expiring today. This call has a strike price of 35. Now, if you look, that's actually in danger because TNA is at 36.59. So I need to make a decision today. Again, I don't have all day. I only have till 1 p.m. I need to make a decision. Should I roll this into next week? Should I roll it up and out, or just out, or not roll it at all and let it get assigned? That's a decision I need to make. Everything else, though, expires for next week. You can see the various strike prices. So, you know, I could see like how much is it going to cost if I can get a credit, but rolling this into next week and moving it up to 36. Would I do that? Maybe. But again, I doubt it. I'd get a credit for that. Typically, when you roll the strike price up, you'd have to push the date out a little more in order to get the credit. But again, just some options to think about today. Or I may just let it get assigned and say bye-bye and just sell aggressive puts and get more. Right now, I have, 300 shares of TNA. I don't know. Oh, they're all, yeah. Yeah, so they're all, I own 300 and I have 300 with covered calls, so 0 uncovered at the moment. And if I scroll over here, you can see for this week, I did make $189. So if we compare those 2 payments, or the income I got from TSLL and TNA with the dividend that I got from TSLL, I am at $319 for this week. So I only need to make $69 today in order to meet my $389 goal, which again, that was from the Misty tab right here. All right, so that's the goal. And will I hit it? Yes, I will. I don't care. You know, I should have hit it by now, but I have, you know, I wasn't very active yesterday, but I need to try to be a little active this morning in the stock market. All right, let me catch up on some of the comments here. Yeah, this is where I left off. Are you feeling better? Yes, a little bit. It's still not healed, but I'm still putting the medication on, taking the pills and all that. But that's in reference to the poison ivy, I assume. Well, then they file to change how the fund works so they can hold the underlying for most of these funds to prevent NAV erosion. I mean, again, there's no difference. You hold the underlying or you do the synthetic, the same thing happens, right? The synthetic mimics the movement of the underlying. So the only difference is the cash that they hold will now be holding the actual stock instead of making us money on the treasuries and the bonds. I saw an interview where they said considering updated percent hold BTC, and yeah, I haven't seen that interview, but again, if they're going to hold anything other BTC related, I don't think they would mess around with Misty on that. That'll probably be a new fund. All right, just keep going. Most of the yip yap is amongst yourselves, which is fine. I'm just trying to see if I didn't miss anything. Yeah, same here. Have you priced it? Actually, have you priced healthcare? Just curious. All right. Cool. Jobber. Who's a jobber? Everyone? All right. Let's see. Man, you guys are yip yapping today. Wow. All right. Sorry, I'm scrolling through the comments. All right. Well, good to hear, Mig's Room, that your latest video did well. When's your next video? Make sure to share it. You guys should go live. Try live once you qualify. I'm not sure what the qualifications are. Because you got 3 of you, so you could do like a podcast kind of chit chat, right? 400 a month. That's not bad. I assume that's only for you. I think family rates are ridiculous. That's what I got to worry about. I have 45K to deploy. Woohoo! Oh yeah. I mean, I can't really answer that unless you tell me what your goals are. Do you have other money? Do you have other account? What type of account is it in? What underlines do you like? What do you want to yield? Blah 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 blah. We record Sunday evenings and release it Monday morning. What about Hoy? What about Hoy? That's the question. Alive is something that has been discussed, but our times have to match. Yeah. Yeah, do it, man. I think it's going live is fun. And then eventually you can interview fund managers together. If you guys plan on doing only the together videos, or are you guys going to go separate too? All right, here's a question from Jose. Because Misty and Ulti are getting even more popular, will the dividend continue to decline due to amount of shares and NAV erosion? No, that has nothing to do with it. So when new money comes in, that new money gets put to work just like the existing money that's in there. All right. So just because more people are buying in, it doesn't mean the distribution is going to go down, because again, they're putting in their money and their money is getting put to use right away, making, yielding typically, hopefully, the same amount that the funds have been. So when you think about Ulti, when has, you say continued to decline? When has the dividend continued to decline? I mean, it's been 8 and 9 cents for quite some time. And Misty, I mean, to keep it simple, they're down because the IV, the implied volatility of MSTR is down. So when the implied volatility is down, the premium that we receive through options trading is going to be down. So just because people bought into the fund, again, that has nothing to do with decreasing the dividend. Okay. Hey, Doc says buy. Hooey. Not financial advice, though, of course. All right, let's see. Man, there's a lot of text. All right. No one listens to Doc, though. Yeah, I know. No one listens. No one ever listens to anyone. All right, so it looks like I'm caught up. So I don't really have anything else unless you guys want to talk about something. Again, TNA, everything's looking green today, man. So we'll see. Again, it's a short day. Hopefully we get some trades in today, some options trades, some buys, some sells, whatever you guys are doing. We'll see. I know you guys keep talking about Hoy, so maybe I'll pull it up. I still have a few more minutes, and then I got to go. So if we look at Hoy, how are they doing? I know, did Robinhood go up yet again yesterday? Yeah, man, it's at freaking $97. Like, look at Hoy. Oh, my God. $70. They launched at freaking 50. Man. And they're in YieldMax, thankfully. All right, so if we add up the synthetic, let's see where we're at here. They got a 49 and an 80. I mean, that 49 is ridiculous that it's still even open. So we'll add 14, and then we'll add 15. Okay, so you take the synthetic on the paper, it's worth 23 mil. $23 million. Good Lord. Now, outstanding shares total 1.3 mil. So, oh my freaking God. What group is Hoy in? No, they're in group C, right? Yeah. Yeah, they're in group C, right? Oh my God. Do you guys see this? I need to bold this. I need to make this massive here. You guys see this? I mean, hello. Holy crapola. Who owns Hoy? Could you imagine this next distribution? Good Lord. Oh my God. That's insane. That's insane. All right. So what else we got? Let me catch up. Don't you guys think it's better for Hood or Hoy to pull back before buying? Again, to time the market, it's a losing battle. You know, to think, all right, Hood is up, so it's going to go down. You know, again, maybe it will, maybe it won't. So who the hell knows? Wouldn't it be better to just buy a little here, buy a little there, and then average in along the way? That way, either way you're involved. Maybe you didn't get the best price, but again, you can't time the perfect price. You can't, or else we wouldn't be here. We'd be millionaires if we knew how to do that. All right, let's keep going. All right, yeah, Group C, thanks. So they're up. They got some time, but 17.08 per share. Woo-wee. Vladi says, could Misty trade options on MSTR related ETFs from other companies? These ETFs have IVs built in. No idea what you're talking about. On MSTR related ETFs. Are you talking about income ETFs? MSTR related? But no, the answer is no. Misty's not going to trade options on other MSTR ETFs. That's what you're asking. All right, let's see. Yeah, holy crapola for sure. All right, let's keep going. What the hell is YMST? Who? There's a YMST. Am I supposed to know what that is? Let's see if I can find who makes YMST. Yeah, I don't know what YMST is. Doesn't really matter. Whatever. Hood is yet to be added to the S&P. So when it does, yeah, well, that, are we jumping way ahead here or what here? We'll see. All right. I think I'm done. Yeah, we're at the hour. So as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and this video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, come back tomorrow, which yeah, I'll probably be live tomorrow. Yeah. And I plan on being live on the 5th to do my end of month account updates. I know sometimes you guys ask what are you holding? What is, that's in my end of month account update video, which I do now as a combined video. I'll do the dividend car and the retire now account update, which you kind of see the retire now every day. But, I plan on doing that video Saturday morning, assuming I'm doing nothing on the 4th. We'll see. Outside of that, if you guys enjoy this content, please hit the like button. If you have any questions or concerns, leave them in the comments below. If you have a video question, type in the word video question followed by your question, and then there you go. And then I'll pull it up and I'll answer it on the video. Outside of that, I got nothing but a keyword. Ain't nothing but a keyword. So what do you guys got? All right. Keyword today. So what does that mean? It means if you made it this far in the video and you would like to prove it to myself and everyone else in between, you have to type in the comments the keyword. So live people, 198 of you now, still hanging on. What is the keyword? Keyword is fireworks. Says Mig's room. I mean, that's more, well, there's probably going to be fireworks today. And, I used to hate fireworks. Only when my dog was here, she would just bark and bark and bark and bark and bark. Wake up the kids, bark and bark and bark and bark. Wake up the kids. So I guess since, Doc's paying for his keyword. So I think I have to now give Doc the keyword. So Doc, since you paid $2, we will approve your keyword. Your keyword is stop singing. All right. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you got to type in the keywords stop singing. All right. Whether or not I will, to be determined. But good luck. But anyway, I'm out of here. I just want to say to everyone, thank you for watching and have a great day. All right. Peace.